Mr Macmillan.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. First of all, I'd like to wish the Cabinet Secretary well for the remainder of her time here in the Parliament and also beyond. I think it's been an interesting debate so far, and it's very obvious to me that it's only with independence can we actually do a lot more with regards to Scotland's food and drink. I mean, we know certainly from the Tory whisky duty hikes when they were last in power, that actually reduced tax revenue by £300 million to Labour's national insurance hikes threatening jobs. So it's clear that we actually can do so much more if we actually were an independent country. Yep. Presiding Officer, I agree actually with Claire Hawkey's comments earlier on. Sorry, Mr Hoy, I normally do take interventions, but not today. I do agree with Claire Hawkey's comments that she's leaving the chamber as I'm going to praise her. And that's because Claire Hawkey spoke about, it's not just about rural communities and island communities. Urban communities too have got a huge amount to offer when it comes to food and drink in Scotland. So this particular debate, I actually wanted to speak on it because it reminded me of a debate that took place in 2018 in which I spoke in. And I spoke about how important the food and drink industry is to Scotland, but also to my Greenock and Inverclyde constituency. And at that time, I gave special mention to a company called the New Chocolate Company, based in Port Glasgow. In fact, it delivered some chocolate. I actually delivered some chocolate to MSP's offices afterwards. Sadly, I can't do the same today. It's the only negative point I'm going to talk about today. Sadly, the couple who ran the business retired, and the place is now no longer operational. But I genuinely wish them very well in their retirement because they provided an absolutely outstanding product. But Port Glasgow has now got a company called Downriver Coffee Roasters. It's set up by Ryan, who originally was from New York, but she came to Scotland in 2015 to study. Now, Ryan and her wife moved to Inverclyde during the pandemic, and soon after she began pursuing a career in coffee roasting. And despite being a young business, Ryan has put a mark on the local economy. She's supplying local hospitality businesses as well as having customers outside of the constituency. Now, Ryan's business acumen and commitment to sustainably sourced coffee saw Downriver win the Entrepreneurialism Award last year and nominated for the Sustainability category at the Inverclyde Chamber of Commerce Icon Awards. 2018, Presiding Officer, touched upon the multi-award-winning McCaskey's Butchers based in Wemyss. Now, McCaskey's is now in the third generation of family ownership under Nigel Ovens, and it's in fact considered Scotland's most awarded butcher. Now, this is testament to their outstanding products. I also mentioned the Golden Casket Group, considered to be one of the largest and most innovative confectionery specialists within the UK, who are based in Greenock. From Buchanan's toffees and chocolates, Millions, All-Rounders, Hoyt Balls, Gibb products and many others, they produce delicious products which are sold far and wide. Now, the business is once again family-owned, and it's now in its third generation, and they are extremely important for the local economy. It's not just the businesses themselves that contribute to Inverclyde's growing food and drink sector, however. Kempbrook Street in Gourock, for example, has seen a growth in footfall, which was given a huge boost to hospitality, and certainly the bi-monthly Gourock Farmers Market is also something that's very much worthwhile visiting. In Greenock, West Buckhall Street has recently undergone investment to try to recreate some of the success that's taken place in Gourock. Having only reopened earlier this year, there remains some scepticism as to whether it will deliver more footfall. However, it has attracted new businesses in recent years. We've got Bird Chicken Shop, which also does halal, vegan and gluten-free offerings. We've got The Alchemist, which is a new coffee shop which offers sandwiches and bakers from other local stores, helping the local economy, including Tonino's focaccia breads, which really are out of this world. And Tonino's also is a multi-award-winning facility within the constituency. We've also got a particular business set up, 17 in Gong, set up by Ben Egan, who travelled to Japan to train. And he didn't come from Inverclyde. He chose to come to Inverclyde to set up his business. And all of his produce is manufactured in the restaurant, and it's all done from raw materials. So he makes everything himself. That brings very little in. Now, so Ben, he has travelled the world to bring in certainly some of the best flavours and combinations, and his menu changes every few weeks, but it's normally focused upon specific cuisines such as Japanese, Taiwanese and Vietnamese cooking. Greenock also has the 120-year-old family baker, Ald's, multi-award-winning again, delicious products certainly for the community and also beyond. But this family baker is vital to our local economy. It creates many hundreds of jobs. Now, I'm going to touch upon two aspects with regards to drink. Now, the award-winning Titan rum. 3 guys had a hobby, and they liked rum, but they had a hobby, and so decided to make rum. So it's based in Greenock, and it's also stocked in the Scottish Parliament bar, if anyone is of interest. But multi-award winning as well. It's in June of this year, I touched upon this in the last time I spoke, but in June of this year, 20th of June, the Ardgowan distillery in Inverkip is going to open. In 2018, I stated, Inverkip will join the whisky trail soon when the Ardgowan distillery is built. So that was 7 years ago, and it will be a real pleasure to see that whisky distillery open. I've engaged a great deal over the years, particularly the CEO, Martin McAdam, and also the major shareholder, Roland Grain. And I can't wait for that to open, because it certainly will put Inverkip and also Inverclyde on the whisky map, and it can only be a good thing for the community. Thank you very much.